y'all. Happy Tuesday. It's your girl, Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Hope that you had an amazing day today. It's a pretty quiet Tuesday night in my home. I'm enjoying life, right? Trying to grab hold of what little bit of summer is left. And it's funny, when I was at work earlier today, I stumbled on this thought. It might have been my mom who put it up. I think it was my mother who put it on her Facebook page, and I said I have to do a vlog about this. And so you'll see the thought above this video clip. It says, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. Once again, it says you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with in your life. Now, taking it back to elementary school, doing math, that's kind of when you learn about means and averages, right? So it's the sum of a bunch of numbers, sum of the collective numbers divided by the number that's there. So let's say it's, let me not even get into that because y'all see how bad my math is. I always struggled with it. But pretty much you get my drift, right? And so in the beginning, I said, this is really, like, let me kind of grab a hold of this. Let me really try to think this whole thought through. Because in my lifetime, I've hung out with a myriad of different people, myriad of different women, and myriad of different men, right? And so there were times where I had friends who were very sexually free and fast. There were times where I had friends who are still virgins till this day, God bless them. There are times where I've had friends who were into stealing. There were times I had friends who were into charitable acts. There are people I met in church who tried to live the Christian life as best they could. There are people who I met in church who tried to do everything but live the Christian life. Like, I've been around so many different people, and I've never been one to say, oh, ooh, you hot in the pants, we can't be friends. My thing is, if we organically kind of work, our personalities just are compatible, we just mesh as friends, then, you know, I'll rock with you. And I have been known to rock with girls who I consider to be some of my dearest friends at different points in my life, who were very free, if you know what I mean, you know? And people would tell me, don't hang out with them. They're this, they're that, they're nasty, and, you know, and I'm like, but they're my friends, and I'm strong enough within myself where just because you like to do that don't mean I'm gonna do that and that that's what I want to do, you know? But I also have experienced being in a relationship with my husband for so many years, and then us getting married, where after a while, it's like your personalities can become similar in some ways. I find myself talking and saying things the way my husband would at times, with the inflections of how he would say it. I've witnessed him using terminology that I use on my day-to-day with the inflections on how I would say it. You know, my husband and I think similarly, but then we think differently, and I've seen how he's adopted certain ways that I think, and I've seen how I've adopted certain ways that he thinks. So I say all this to say it can go both ways. It's very easy to become like the people who you surround yourself with, which is why it's so important to surround yourself with positive, good people, right? You know, that old adage, it has me thinking of that saying, you are the company you keep, birds of a feather flock together. And I'll be honest, when considering letting someone into my inner circle, my personal world, I'm definitely judging you also by the people who you habitually keep company with. I'm gonna be 100% real and honest about that. So if I see a young lady who we vibe and I think you're pretty cool, you're dope, I wouldn't mind getting to know you more as a friend, but then I see that you constantly surround yourself with other women and or men who are shady, who don't even have your best interest at heart, who are miserable, it will deter me from wanting to let you in my world and get to know you further, if I'm being completely honest. You know, especially at this stage in my life, I don't feel desperate to have friends and to have people around me like that. And so when I do want to enjoy the company of any girlfriends I may have, you best believe that I want a no drama zone, right? I want to be able to zen out and bug out with my friends. I want us to be able to like have good conversation on intellectual levels. I want us to be able to be honest with one another. And so if I find or see that the people that you always surround yourself with are completely opposite of what I'm about, that will deter me from wanting to be your friend in that way. We'll be cool, love is love. When I see you, hey girl, how you doing? Some conversation here and there, but you ain't gonna be all in my personal life in that way or in my inner circle. And some may say, Chanel, that's wrong, but it's just my perspective. It's funny, I was in a car with one of my girlfriends the other night, and we were just talking about friendships and how, her point was, sometimes, you know your friends, you know how they are, and you make certain exceptions, or you just take it for what it is. And I said, I hear you, but at this stage in my life, not anymore. For the most part, at this stage in my life, I want more. I want to be able to continue to grow and to progress, and not just in a materialistic financial way, but within myself, within my own emotions, within me becoming the woman who I ultimately am supposed to be. I feel like if I continue to surround myself with people who are still doing the same things the same way, there may be some progression, but for the most part, you're like that dog constantly chasing its own tail. You're going around in the same circle. At some point, I have to kind of, remove myself, especially if I see that I'm growing and I know where I'm trying to go. And it's not that I love people any less. It's not that they did anything horrible or wrong to me. It's just at certain points we can hit that dead end, right? And so I factor in all of these things. I even ask myself, okay, Chanel, the people who you spend the most time with, what does that say about you? Are you an average? Meaning, do you have parts of the people, traits, attributes of the 5 people that you spend the most time with? Luckily for me, those 5 people are more family, and luckily they're more of my immediate family who are healthy, sane, and well, right? So, of course, it'd be my husband, my mom, my dad, my brother. That's already 4 people right there, where I feel if I'm the average of them, I'm doing all right out here. Not that they're perfect or anything like that, but I can honestly say I'm not really in a place where the people who I constantly surround myself with are people who are constantly like that dog chasing his tail or chasing her tail, like in the same zone, So I thought this was such a profound question and thought to kind of just go over within your own mind, your own quiet time, like the people who I'm around the most, the 5 people, if I could count up to 5, because some of us may not always be around people like that, but if I can count up to 5, or just the people who are in my life the most, if this thought is saying I'm the average of them, is this a good thing? Is this an okay thing? Or is this a not so good thing? Do I need to make some adjustments? So I love things that get the wheels turning in our brains, y'all. I'm all for it. I was saying to a coworker today, there's always a bigger picture, a deeper realm that we should be trying to look into. Nothing is ever just surface level, folks. Try to penetrate deeper, when it comes to the ultimate meaning of a lot of the things in life that we see, we face, we go through, we experience. Let's dig deeper, y'all. Let's stop being surface level all the time. There has to be some depth to your soul. There has to be some depth to your mind, self-awareness, all these kinds of things. I don't know. I just felt like sharing. Holla at me. Let me know what your thoughts are about this. Do you understand what it is I'm trying to convey in this vlog? Would you agree that, yep, I pretty much am equal parts of the company I keep? Or would you be like, oh, heck no, I'm nothing like my friends, right? Let me know. Continue to head to ComplexSimplicity.com, and until next time.